Starting at the prayer room Grace, head northeast out the doorway and follow the path until you see the railing on the right side end. A few steps forward from that and there will be a door on your left. Go through, up the stairs, and then take a right and jump on this route. You'll want to hop off the route on the left side at the first support beam you come to, and then straight in front of you will be the Miquellan Knight's Sword, which is a straight sword that scales with strength, faith, and dexterity, and also deals some holy damage. Heads up, you will need a stone sword key for this item. Starting from the base of the route that we just jumped onto for the last item, we're going to want to head down now. And this is probably the best time to mention that this place is infested with enemies. Almost everywhere you go, there will be soldiers or some type of enemy waiting for you. Now, whether you run past them or fight them is entirely up to you. You'll want to take the staircase down and then head south where you'll find this ledge. Make your way across the ledge and in front of you will be a wall that is blocking you. Insert the stone sword key, open the chest, and this incantation is now in your possession. If you head east and make your way down to the street below, you'll notice a big old enemy patrolling the area. This enemy is the Putrid Avatar, which, by the way, is strong versus holy and frostbite damage and is immune to bleed damage. And if you couldn't already guess it, this enemy is a tank. But once you figure out a strategy to take it out, you'll get the Rotten Staff as a reward. And then, if you head southwest down the road, there will be a somber ancient dragon smithing stone, say that 10 times fast, that you can use to upgrade those special weapons to +10. Starting from the prayer room Grace again, take the same path we took for the Miquellan Knight's Sword, except when you get to this railing, you'll want to jump over it and onto the slanted structure. Then jump left, go through the door on the left, take out enemies, open the chest, and voila, you have a new summon in your inventory. And if you head out of that room and go left, jump up to the incline and go inside the room in front of you, there will be a chest with another somber ancient dragon smithing stone inside. This one is very easy and simple to get. Start at the Elphael inner wall Grace and go up the ladder that is right next to the Grace. The headpiece is right there. See? Easy and simple. Starting from that same Grace, head south through the archway. Take a left and jump over the route where you'll find a chest against the wall. In the chest will be the Rotten Crystal Sword. Another item that will require a stone sword key. From the same Grace again, head out the east archway and then stick to the right until you find a ladder. Take the ladder down to the next level and then be ready for a fight. Once the fight is finished, clean your tarnished clothes and head through the archway and take a right. You'll then want to follow the road all the way down until you find the fog door that requires that stone sword key we mentioned earlier. Use it and inside will be the Marika's Sword Seal that is a talisman, very useful by the way, that raises your mind, intelligence, faith, and arcane by 5 levels each. Starting from the drainage channel Grace, head west up the ramp and up the ladder. Follow our footsteps across the routes here until you find this ominous looking area with a golden item just suspiciously sitting in a pool of scarlet rot. This gold item is the Great Grave Glowwort, another one that is just very hard to say many times in a row, which you can use to upgrade your summons to +10, and, shocker, it is protected by an ulcerated tree spirit. What makes this boss fight more interesting and difficult is that there is that scarlet rot area in the middle, which forces you to stick to the outer areas and have less room to maneuver. Once you defeat the ulcerated tree spirit, you'll get another golden seed. From the drainage channel Grace again, head out east and then take a left where you'll follow this route. Jump down and then jump on the route to your left and then jump on the next support structure and go up. Following? Okay, great. You'll then want to follow the route to the right until you see the hole in the roof. Drop down and there will be a chest to the west with the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman in it. This talisman reduces the physical damage you take by 20%. Starting at the Haligtree Roots Grace, the Grace right in front of the famous Malenia boss fight. I'm sure most of us are more than familiar with visiting that Grace a time or two. Head back up the lift and head straight northeast until you get out of the building. You'll then want to turn left and follow our footsteps down this path until you see this item in front of a gravestone. This item is, you guessed it, the Ghost Glovewort Picker's Bell Bearing 3, which gives you the ability to purchase Ghost Glovewort 7, 8, and 9 to upgrade your summons. From the Haligtree Roots Grace, head southeast through the archway. You'll see a large orange flower, and next to it will be the Traveler's Set, which apparently is the light cloth armor worn by Malenia under her cloak. If we're in Haligtree, you know Malenia, Blade of Miquellan, has to be mentioned. One of the most amazing and also frustrating boss fights in the entire game. A boss fight with hundreds upon hundreds of stories and clips of failure and triumph and everything else in between. Now, if you want to put this boss in easy mode, if there really is such a thing in Elden Ring, equip that Rivers of Blood katana and your mimic. And if you don't want to do that, understandable, have a weapon that staggers her out of moves can be incredibly useful. Above anything else, good luck not getting thrown into the Malenia blender that is known as the waterfowl move. I think we all know the one. If you are able to take her down, you'll get her remembrance that you can use to get some runes, or better yet, you can trade it in to get the Hand of Malenia katana or the Scarlet Aeonia incantation. In order to find things in the sewers, you have to be able to get to the sewers. So there are closer graces, but we'll start out at the East Capital Rampart Grace. This path is probably very familiar with a lot of players. Pass the bubble blowers, jump on the golden rooftops, and then make your way to the main street in the capital. On the right side of the road will be a golden double gate that you'll pass through and head down both sets of stairs. Go through the next gate and take an immediate left, jump on this rooftop, and then down below you will see a well. There's a metal gate when you get down to the bottom that you can lift up, and the path is pretty linear until you come to a wooden door. Open it and then jump down, and to your left will be a room with a grace in it that we will reference quite a bit in this video. From the underground roadside grace, which is the grace that we will be referencing quite a bit, head out to the main tunnel and head northeast. You can sneak past these omens, or if you've got a taste for blood, go ahead and get a little therapy session on and take them out. And at the end of the hall, there will be a set of double wooden doors that you need to go through. Go left and fall off the edge and continue down the staircase. At the bottom, you'll see an archway on your right that you'll want to go through and follow. Take a left and head down the ladder, making your way past the poisonous Miranda sprouts. Keep following the tunnel, and when it opens up, right in front of you on a body will be the Nomad Ashes. If you've yet to experience the headache that is Mohg, or if you're just simply struggling to defeat Mohg, then this item will be helpful for you to get. Starting at the underground roadside grace yet again, head southeast and head through the double doors. When you're on the wooden bridge, you'll notice some large rusted pipes that you'll want to parkour down to. Waiting for you at the bottom are some rather large crustaceans, but for some reason, they seem to glitch out pretty easily for us, which means that our Tarnished is going to be eating like a true Elden Lord tonight. After you have a Elden Lord snack, head to the southeast side of the room and there will be Mohg's Shackle. This works just like Margit's Shackle, binding the boss to the ground for a short amount of time, allowing you to get some free hits in. But beware, as you can only use it a set number of times in each fight. From the Forsaken Depths Grace, there is really only one direction to go, and that is northeast, down the stairs, and through the fog wall where Mohg the Omen will be awaiting you. This is definitely an easier boss fight when he is not the Lord of Blood, and also a great place to use that shackle if you picked it up. And we do have to admit that we went pretty easy mode by using the unbeatable combo of a mimic and magic to make quick work of Mohg. But once defeated, you'll get the blood flame talons as a reward. In the same area that you just defeated Mohg the Omen in, there will be a chest at the back of the room. Inside the chest will be the Erdtree's Favor +1, which is a talisman that increases your HP by 3.5%, your stamina by 8.5%, and raises your equip load by 6.5%. Directly behind the chest you just opened will be a secret passage that will be revealed once you are close enough. Follow the passage and you may or may not be stopped by this seal that is controlled by Morgott. All you have to do to get rid of this seal is, well, go defeat Morgott, which in hindsight is easier said than done. But once you have defeated him, you'll be able to continue on. Once the seal is opened, you'll notice an alarming amount of bodies, an absolutely alarming amount. But we're here just for our own personal gain, so we're just not gonna ask any questions. Head across the first wooden beam that leads southeast, and on the left side will be the Nomadic Merchant set. Now, this is where things start to get a bit complicated. Starting on the raptor we just crossed, you're now going to have to look down and jump from area to area to area to make it down. Whatever you do, just don't pay attention to our lost runes there, because we definitely did this on our first try. Of course. Patience is key here, and don't get too far ahead of yourself, as it will most likely take you a couple of attempts to actually get this down. Now, we don't want to get all the way to the bottom yet. There is a coffin that is hanging over a ledge about 3 or 4 stories up from the ground. You should be able to see the glowing indicator of an item as you make your way down, and this item is the inescapable frenzy incantation. It's finally time to go all the way to the bottom floor, and then that floor gives out because your tarnish is just too thick. Head to the grace on the left side of the room and Malenia will come pay you a visit. Next, you'll want to unequip everything. Sun's out, buns out, and then make your way to this ominous looking door where an awesome yet disturbing cutscene happens. Once the cutscene is finished, make your way back to the grace, and Malenia pretty much says that you're worthless now and she'll kill you. How sweet. We don't want to spoil it for you, but this ending is definitely one of the more interesting ones. When you first enter Volcano Manor, make sure to get the grace and then go to the right and talk to Tanith. She'll try to make you question your own existence, but eventually she'll give you the drawing room key, which we will need later on. Next, you'll want to head up the stairs that are at the southeast of that room. You'll find a giant dining hall at the top of the stairs, and at the back of the room will be an invader waiting for you, Inquisitor Giza himself. Take him out, and the Elden Ring pizza cutter, Giza's will be yours. From the Volcano Manor Grace, head to the hall that is west of the Grace. Use the drawing room key to open the first door on the right. Go to the north side of the room and find the wall with the crooked painting hanging up. You can't attack in these rooms, but you can walk or roll into it to reveal a hidden passageway. Go through the first metal gateway and head left, south to another hallway. Fight your way through the snails, and at the end of the hallway will be a body with a cookbook on it. And then directly next to that body will be another hidden wall that you can destroy to reveal another room. Inside the room will be the depraved perfumer Carmon's summon. Head out from where you just got the summon and retrace your steps back to the dark open room. Directly in front of you will be a set of stairs. Follow the stairs down and they will lead you to another poorly lit open room. Inside this room will be an enemy that is extremely quick, but focus up, assert your dominance, and you will be one step closer to becoming Wolverine with some sweet claws here in Elden Ring. Oh, also, side note, this weapon comes equipped with the skill Bloodhound Step, which will make you more agile, but also make you look that much more cinematic as you try to avoid some attacks, but ultimately fail and die. But at least you look dang good doing it. From where you just defeated the enemy, head west through the metal gate and follow the hallway. This will lead you to the Prison Town Church site of Grace. You'll want to open the double doors, and through them is where this level opens up and can get a bit confusing. Head right and follow the path. We do want to say that you can jump from rooftop to rooftop if you have a little Michael Scott in you, but for the sake of this video, it'll be easier to describe and follow this way. Keep following our steps down the path and you'll run into an Iron Virgin. They are tough, tanky, and have a lot of pent-up aggression. Makes sense? Once defeated, take a left down the stairs and follow the stairs all the way down until you reach a little courtyard area with 2 stone bird statues. On the right side, there will be a fog wall that you can break with a stone sword key. Inside will be another angry Iron Virgin. The Comet Azure spell works great here, as it does almost everywhere, and inside, up the stairs, will be the Crimson Amber Medallion +1, which will increase your maximum HP by 7%. From the Guest Hall side of Grace, head out the double doors that lead east. You'll want to jump down and follow the lava trail, but don't run through the lava for obvious reasons, unless you're into that kind of thing, and then turn right and head up the stairs and follow the path. You'll reach another courtyard with hanging cages all around and a slinky salamander waiting to annoy you. There will be 2 cages that serve as lifts. The right lift goes down and will lead to a magma worm boss fight, but the left one is where we want to go. Head up, take a left, and go up the stairs and make sure to go and raise the bridge. It can save you a lot of headaches and time, so make like Shia LaBeouf and just do it, please. The next step is to head into the very obvious boss arena where you will have a rather large and in charge boss waiting for you, the God Skin Noble, which has incredible music, so just wanted that to be said. But this boss is tough if it's your first go around, but it is weak to bleed and frostbite, so use that to your advantage. Once you're able to avoid getting squished and rolled on and are able to defeat the Godskin Noble, you'll get the Godskin Stitcher and Noble Presents. From the Subterranean Inquisition Chamber Grace, head southeast and jump off the ledge, then stick to the left and jump across these fallen pillars. Progress through the cave and you'll run up to a floor that will give out once you are on it. Let gravity do what it knows how to do best and then head southeast through the tunnel where you will find a fog wall. There will be not 1 but 2 abductor virgins that you will have to slay, but once you do, you will receive the Inquisitor's Girandol weapon. Remember those rooftops that we said that you could parkour on earlier? Well, now is the time that we need to do that. Start at the Prison Town Church Grace and head right out of the door and then follow us as we hop from rooftop to rooftop. You want to fall down here where an Omen Killer will be in front of you. Take them out or run past and go east where you'll find an archway to go through. Inside will be the Erdtree seal, which if you're running a faith build could be of great use to you. From where we got the Erdtree seal, head back west to the fire and then take a left to go through this smaller doorway. Head all the way through and then take a right to go down this skinny staircase. There will then be a jump that you need to complete. No pressure, just lava awaiting for you if you fail. Make your way down and keep the rock wall on your left until you reach this creepy cemetery. In the back of the cemetery, towards the northeast, will be the smoldering shield guarded by a giant pot. Starting from where we got the Crimson Amber Medallion, head south across the bridge. Stay right and run past the Slinky Salamander and head up this ladder. Run straight across the roof and then jump down onto this balcony. Inside the room will be an Omen Killer, and on the body on the bed will be the Albinaric staff and one of the most hilarious looking headpieces in the whole game, the Albinaric mask. The mask actually increases your arcane by 4, but reduces your flask healing by 10%. From the Temple of Igle Grace, head out the archway to the north. Head up the lift and take an immediate right. Go through the archway and head down the stairs, and then midway through the bridge, you're going to want to hop off onto this ledge below, and on the body will be the Crimson Tear Scarab headpiece, which increases the healing of your Crimson Tear flask by 10%. From the Temple of Igle Grace again, head out the same archway as before and go up the lift again, except this time, head down the lift again and jump off halfway down to go in this room. Go west and jump out this window, then jump across the lava, pass through these archways, and then climb the ladder. There are other ways for you to get to this exact point, but this is the way we went, as there are some other small items that you can gather along your way. At the top of the ladder, turn left and go all the way down the hall until you see this door. Go through the door that leads into a rather grandiose style room, and then there will be another double door. Open it, and directly in front of you will be the man-serpent ashes, but it is guarded by enemies, of course. Starting from the same room we just got the man-serpent ashes in, head up the first set of stairs and then turn around and go up the next set of stairs that are leading west. You will need a stone sword key to break through the fog wall. Go through the wooden doors and then immediately turn right and fall gently, or as gently as you can, and then head up the stairs that lead to this empty hallway. Go up one more set of stairs, through the door, and on your right, you'll find the dagger talisman, which increases critical damage by a whopping 17%. Right from where we got the last item, you'll notice all of these cages that are suspended by chains in front of you. Carefully, reiterate it one more time, carefully make your way down these until you reach the bottom. Head northeast once you do reach the bottom, and there will be a room with the Royal Knight's Resolve in it. This Ash of War can be incredibly useful as it buffs the damage of your next hit by 80%, 80%.
That's a lot of damage.
The East Capital Rampart Grace. From this grace, go to the sand and then turn left where you'll want to run past the bubble blowers. We know that their actual name is the Oracle Envoys, but we'll be calling them bubble blowers for this video. You can easily run past them and make sure that you stick to the right side where you'll want to drop down to a lower ledge and then continue forward through the door and then take a right and head down the lift. Head west once you've reached the bottom, and the first room you reach, there will be a ladder to the right side. Climb up the ladder and then go up the stairs, and there will be the seedbed curse on a body. From the East Capital Rampart Grace again, you want to make your way past the bubble blowers, except this time you'll want to jump off the ledge down to the gold rooftops. This part can be a bit tricky, so just follow our footsteps so that way you don't get lost. You'll eventually reach the main street of the capital, and there will be a Erdtree avatar boss blocking your way. This enemy is weak to fire and frostbite, but is immune to bleed damage, so use that information however you would like. Once you do defeat the Erdtree avatar, there will be a path that you can access past the front left of the overturned carriage on the road. Be very careful here because there is a ton of enemies and they mean business. After you clear them out, or sneak past them, if that's even possible, you'll find a broken gap in the railing that you'll want to jump through, and then go underneath the gazebo and find the ladder that leads down. Keep following the path, and at the bottom of the next ladder, you'll find an Omen Killer waiting for you. Defeat this enemy, and you'll get the Omen Smirk Mask as a reward. This mask is a lightweight headpiece that increases strength. From the same place where you get the Omen Smirk Mask, head southwest and you'll see a door on your left. Right inside the door will be a bed with Lynel's armor set and the deathbed dress on it. The deathbed dress is unique as it passively heals your allies around you, but it is slow. Lynel's armor set, as you could imagine by the looks of it, is tanky, having some of the highest poise of any armor in the game. From the West Capital Rampart Grace, the moment you step out of the southeastern door, you'll be faced with a challenge. That challenge is a gargoyle for you to fight. If you've encountered gargoyles before, you know that they are not easy, as they can have awkward timings on their moves, and when they hit hard. Once you defeat the gargoyle, you'll get the gargoyle's halberd, and then past where you fight the gargoyle will be a golden seed guarded by a whole bunch of bubble blowers. Sneak past them or take them out and you'll get another golden seed. From the golden seed, you'll want to head southwest where you'll see the giant route that leads up to where you would go fight Godfrey. You don't want to go up the route though, but rather underneath it and then make a right up the hill. There will be a few tough enemies in your way, but once you clean them out, there will be a ritual shield talisman at the top of the hill. This talisman boosts defense whenever your HP is completely full. You'll want to head back down the hill from where you got the talisman and stick to the right side. About halfway down the hill, you'll see a path that leads back up to another area. Head to the archways that are the furthest most south, and inside will be the Spike Fist weapon. They may not be the best weapon in the game, but if you're wanting to give your enemies the old spiky wombo combo, then these might be of, good use to you. Starting from the West Capital Rampart Grace, there will be a staircase that leads down right before the bubble blowers that guarded the golden seed from before. Head down the stairs and then through the archways that then open up to the city again, and there will be a road in front of you. Follow the road for a little bit, and then shortly on your left will be a rather large door that you honestly can't miss. Go through the door, and inside will be Alberic's set, which increases aberrant sorceries by 5% for each piece, excluding the legs, because for some reason, I guess Alberic liked to skip leg day. If you head back out to the road that you just came from and head west, you'll find these wooden rooftops that you can jump on. Jump through the broken area of the stone railing and you will essentially be in the Round Table Hold, an area that we should all be pretty familiar with here in Elden Ring, where you would normally find Master Hugh as a hammer, where you would find the Dung Eater as a seedbed curse, fitting, and then where you would find the two fingers is a shut door. Open the door, and inside will be the coated sword. You'll have to work a little bit harder for this golden seed. From the Lower Capital Church Grace, head out the door and go north, where you'll see a ladder leading down. At the bottom of the ladder, turn right immediately and go through the doorway in front of you. This leads to a room, and on the other side of the room will be one of those suspiciously open areas with no enemies, which we all know means boss fight. And then the ground rumbles, and it all starts to make sense as an ulcerated tree spirit emerges from the ground. These can be annoying at times, but you can just go back into the room so that it loses aggro on you, and then go back, get a couple of attacks in, and then rinse and repeat until you've beaten it. Once slain, you'll get a golden seed as a reward. From the Avenue Balcony Grace, head down the stairs and out the golden double gates. Immediately take a left and try not to get hit by this guy's electric arrows and jump on the first rooftop. Look west and you should see a scarab that is holding the Ash of War. Take it out and the Thunderbolt Ash of War is yours. After you have conquered your first run-in with Godfrey, you'll get the Erdtree Sanctuary Grace. This room, the one that you fought Godfrey in and the one that Grace is at, is where the item is at. Just look straight up. In order to get there, you'll have to head out the archways and follow the route up to the second level. Here is a rather difficult jump that took many attempts to finally be able to pull off, so don't get discouraged if you don't get it the first try. Once you're able to do the jump, there will be the Golden Order Principia on a body suspended from the ceiling. You can give this item to a cleric to learn the Radagon's Ring of Light and Law of Regression incantation. If you continue along the path of the route to the next balcony over, that way you won't, have to do that jump again, you'll run up on a chest, and inside that chest will be the Erdtree bow. There's also a ladder you can knock down, so you'll never have to do that jump ever again. Starting at the Erdtree Sanctuary Grace again, head west and out the archway. Follow the steps down and take the lift down to the bottom. Once at the bottom, follow the stairs all the way down to the bottom and stick to the left along the railing. It's entirely up to you on whether you want to take the enemies out here or not, but it's really not the worst idea so that you can have some breathing room. Next, you'll want to jump over this specific place in the railing and hope to the Elden Ring gods that gravity doesn't hurt you too much. Once your tarnished knees recover, head up the golden statue, and at the top of it will be the Bolt of Grandsax. After progressing far enough in the story of Elden Ring, you'll gain access to the Lift of Rold, which will then take you to this Forbidden Land's Grace. You want to head back up the lift, be facing southwest, and then jump to this corridor whenever you see it. Inside the room will be the Blade of Calling. Oracle Bubbles. Starting from the lift that takes you down to Siofra River, which if you don't know where that is east of the minor Erdtree and Limgrave, or you can start at the Siofra River Well Grace. You want to head northeast and make your way up the steps of these ruins and then subsequently around the backside of the ruins. Here you'll have to do some jumping and parkour, so watch your step and do your best to not look down, which will definitely end up making you look down anyway, so just don't mess up, okay? Once you make it across the ruins, you'll come to a hole in the floor, and when you look through it, you'll see a scarab that when you slay it will give you the Oracle Bubble spell. Armorer's Cookbook 6. Starting from the Siofra River bank grace, head northwest and jump up these rocks. Take a left, and shortly after, you'll see a body that the Armorer's Cookbook 6 is located on. This cookbook can be incredibly valuable later on in your journey throughout Elden Ring, as it gives you the ability to craft preserving boluses that allow you to cure scarlet rot, which, if you haven't already figured it out, can be incredibly deadly. Hornbow. Starting from the Siofra River bank grace again, this time head east until you reach this cliff edge. There will be an area for you to jump to that is beneath the stairs that you go up to access one of the boss areas. Here you'll find a body that has the hornbow on it. The hornbow is special due to the fact that it is the only bow in Elden Ring that is capable of doing magic damage. We also think it looks kind of cool too. Square off Ash of War. Starting from, you guessed it, the Siofra River bank grace, head northeast. Not far from the grace, you'll see a little island that has a teleporter on it. Take that teleporter and it will teleport you to the upper level of Siofra River. Head northwest once you've been teleported and you'll see another scarab. Do what you do with scarabs and you'll be the owner of the Square Off Ash of War that balances strength and dexterity scaling for straight swords. Dwelling Arrows. Starting from where you get the Square Off Ash of War, you'll want to head south until you reach where we put this marker on the map. Once you're there, you'll want to find the airlift and then use Torrent to jump to the top of this broken bridge. In between the two sections of the bridge, there is a precarious way for you to make your way down. Follow us, and once you've made your way to the bottom, you will see a body with an item on it. That item is the Dwelling Arrows, which are magic arrows that work perfectly with the hornbow that we showed you earlier. Abandoned Merchant. From the Worshipper's Woods Grace, head southwest, avoiding the little lightning balls until you find a wood structure that is built into the side of the bridge pillars. Head on around and you'll find some wooden stairs that lead to a ladder. Climb the ladder and continue making your way around until you see the wooden bridge. You want to cross the bridge and continue going straight along the path beneath the waterfall, where you'll then find a room that you can jump down into. In this room, you'll find the Abandoned Merchant that has some great stuff for sale, like some cookbooks to expand your crafting repertoire or a larval tier that you can use to respec your character if you've beaten Rennala. Great Oracular Bubble. From the Worshipper's Woods Grace yet again, head south through the giant trees until you see a stone column that has fallen. Make your way to the top of that column and you'll find a teleporter that takes you here. Take a quick second to enjoy the view and then head west. You'll find a very dark room with a rather weird amount of enemies in it. In the back of the room will be another scarab that has the Great Oracular Bubble spell. This spell casts one giant bubble that does a pretty decent amount of damage, so if you're running a magic build in Elden Ring, this might be a fun spell to add to your arsenal. Dragon Halberd. On this point on the map that we've marked, if you look northwest, you'll see a lonely dragonkin soldier just hanging out. We do want to mention that this boss did get the oh so important honor of being on our weirdest looking bosses list. If you're decently leveled up, you shouldn't have any problems with this boss. Once defeated, you'll get this sweet looking dragon halberd that has a spinning slash skill that has an added lightning effect to really just make it pop. Marika's Scar Seal. In the same spot where you fight the dragonkin soldier, if you look northeast, you'll see a waterfall. Behind the waterfall will be the Marika's Scar Seal talisman that raises attributes but also raises damage taken. This talisman can be incredibly useful, depending on your build of course, because it raises your mind, intelligence, faith, and arcane stats. Golden Seed and Rune Arc. Continuing from where you found Marika's Scar Seal, head south and take a quick left down a path that goes downhill. Follow this path north until you reach this jump down spot. From here, you'll see a golden seed that can help you upgrade your flask. From the golden seed, continue northwest, keeping the outside of the building on your left. The path will get more narrow, but keep following it until you find an opening in a cave. There will be a body in the cave that has a rune arc on it. Ancestor Spirit. This boss fight requires you to do a little bit of prep work. We've gone ahead and marked where all of the braziers are on the map that you'll need to light in order to gain access to this boss. Follow our steps closely to make sure that you don't miss a single brazier, as you'll need all of them to be ignited to continue to the next step. Once all the braziers have been lit, you'll want to head up these stairs by the Siofra River bank grace that has a decrepit moose-looking creature at the top of them. If you have all the braziers lit, this creature will have a tealish aura and flames surrounding it. Go up to it and interact with it, and you'll be teleported to the boss arena. While it isn't the strongest boss, it is one of the more unique ones in the game, so it is definitely worth going to experience for yourself. A secret exit. From the below the well grace, head north up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, there will be a lift that can only be activated once you use a stone sword key. This long, magical elevator ride will actually take you up to Caelid. The more you know. Modeled necklace. For this item, you'll want to start at the 4 belfries in Liurnia. From the grace here, you want to go left and you'll find a chest that contains an imbued sword key. You will need this imbued sword key to continue on with this. Head south and you'll find a teleporter close by that can only be activated with that imbued sword key. Once teleported, take a mandatory 5 seconds to enjoy this absolutely beautiful view, and then cautiously make your way down this incredibly tedious path, doing your best to let gravity not take away too much of your health. At the bottom, you'll see a body that has the modeled necklace talisman and also has a crucible knight to fight if you just want to go assert your dominance. The modeled necklace talisman boosts your robustness, immunity, and focus. Golden Seed. If you're at the main academy gate grace, head northeast across the bridge. At the end of the bridge will be one of those sweet golden seeds for you to upgrade your flask with. Hidden Merchant. If you start at the same grace as before, the main academy gate, but head across the southeast path, you'll find a pretty well hidden merchant. Make your way past the wolves and you'll find the isolated merchant tucked between the shrubbery, which, by the way, he does sell the Fanged Imp Summon. Marionette Soldier Ashes. Starting at the Church of the Cuckoo Grace, head out of the archway on the left. Make your way down the path until you find this group of gravestones. Behind them is actually a path that follows the cliffside. Follow that path all the way down, sticking to the left the whole time until you jump over to the next path. Follow this path all the way up, defeating the enemies guarding this item, and the Marionette Soldier Ashes will be yours. Carrion Knight Armor Set. Starting from where you find the Marionette Soldier Ashes, jump down and follow our steps exactly. You'll eventually find this spot that you can jump down to. Clear out the enemies and you'll be getting a shiny new set of armor to show off in the lands between. Gravity Wells Sorcery. Close to where you find the Carrion Knight Armor Set, you'll want to find these double gates. Through the gates and up the stairs will be an enemy waiting for you. It's a tougher enemy than normal, but not quite boss level. Once defeated, you'll get the Gravity Well Sorcery as a reward, and there is also a Somber Smithing Stone 3 on the structure behind the enemy. Olivinous Glintstone Crown. Starting at the Schoolhouse Classroom Grace, head to the hallway and take a left. In the chest, there will be a Glintstone's Craftsman Cookbook 5. Behind where the scroll on the body is located is actually a hidden path. Just melee the wall to reveal it, no liar ahead on this one, then head off the balcony to the left and jump down. Proceed to follow the edge of the building around. Jump on these rocks and waiting for you on the ledge will be the Olivinous Glintstone Crown headpiece. Graven School Talisman. Starting at the Schoolhouse Classroom Grace again, but this time take a right at the hallway, then make your way to the top of the school. At the top of the stairs, there will be another hidden path on your left. Head through the path, collect the Comet Sorcery in the chest, and then find the ladder in the room. Head as far east as you can in the room and then jump over the railing and you'll find a spot where you can fall down. Once you've fallen down, search for another hole to fall down that leads into an awesome looking room with the Graven School Talisman sitting at the base of these crystals. This talisman raises the potency of your sorceries. Avionette Soldier Ashes. Starting from the schoolhouse classroom grace yet again, head west and jump on the elevator heading down. Jump off this ledge, head to the left, and these ashes will be close by. Longtail Cat Talisman. Hop back on the elevator you just got off of and head all the way down to the bottom. Watch out for the Iron Virgin waiting for you to ruin your day. Take out this enemy and you'll be able to pick up the talisman stress-free. This talisman will make your player immune to fall damage, but it can't prevent your player from falling to their death. Glintstone Whetblade. If you start at where the main courtyard for the school is, the one with the giant ball that rolls down the stairs, I think we all know the one, head to the very left of the courtyard. Head up the stairs and in a tiny room there will be a dead body hanging over a window. And on the body will be the Glintstone Whetblade that will allow you to grant an additional affinity to your weapon of magic or frost. Glintstone Scarab. One of the more unique looking armor pieces in the game, and for Elden Ring, that's definitely saying something. You want to head through the tunnel right by where you can find the Glintstone Whetblade. You'll see a double gate and want to take a right before the gate and jump over the railing. You'll find a ladder and want to climb to the top. Defeat the enemies and inside the chest will be this creepy yet awesome looking headpiece. Radagon Icon Talisman. After you defeat the Red Wolf of Radagon, you'll get the Debate Parlor Grace. From here, you'll head into the courtyard and take an immediate right. Jump over the railing and climb the ladder to the top. This will lead you to the upper level of the boss arena that you just fought in. In a chest will be the Radagon Icon, which shortens your spell casting time. Full Moon Crossbow. From the courtyard, once again, you'll want to head left up the stairs. Don't go through the tunnel this time, but go left, right in front of it, and jump over the railing. This section can be extremely confusing, so we advise you to follow our path carefully across these rooftops. You'll eventually find this ladder at the end of the rooftops. Climb all the way to the top, and in a chest will be the Full Moon Crossbow. Azur's Glintstone Staff. Picking up where we left off from getting the crossbow, you'll want to once again follow our path very carefully. We'll eventually make it to this tower that you'll want to cautiously, let me reiterate this again, cautiously make your way down. Once you reach the bottom, take a left and go up another ladder and follow us again across the rooftops. We'll eventually make it to this church where you'll want to jump through this window onto a rafter. Then you'll want to fall onto the chandelier and then down once more to the upper floors of the church. You'll then want to head to the most northeastern corner where you'll find a tunnel that leads to a room filled with crystals and Burger King masks. Here is where you'll find the Azur's Glintstone Staff. Raya and the Black Guard. To find Raya, you'll want to go to this location in Liurnia. Once you're there, you'll see a structure with a statue inside. Inside that structure will be Raya. You want to have a conversation with her where she'll tell you that she needs a necklace. Once that conversation is finished, you'll want to head to the Poil Bronze Shack and find a man outside by the graze. Once you begin your conversation with the man, you start to realize he may not be so friendly and that you'll need to settle this your own way to get the necklace from him. If you've got an iron chin like Chris Rock, you shouldn't have any problem taking the hits from this enemy. And once you defeat the Blackguard, you'll get an assortment of things from him, the most important being Raya's necklace. You'll then want to return back to Raya and return her necklace to her, where she will then give you a Volcano Manor invitation in return. Deathbird. Some of you may have already stumbled upon this while exploring, but there is a boss that is located just outside of the Poil Bronze Shack on the southeastern side. Once you're at this rock, you'll get a surprise from the sky in the form of the Deathbird. And like most bosses in this game, if you're running a magic build, you'll be able to make quick work of it. Just be careful because this boss is quick and honestly not the most pleasant to look at. I mean, it is named the Deathbird after all. Once defeated, you'll get a red feathered branch sword that raises attack power when your HP is low. Thops. As demonstrated by the Deathbird, magic in this game is very, very useful. If you head to the Church of Erith, you'll find an NPC by the name of Thops that sells spells, such as the Glintstone Pebble and Glintstone Arc. And will also have some very interesting things to tell you. Stillwater Cave. Caves in this game are usually worth exploring. In the Stillwater Cave, you can find a sage outfit as well as a winged sword insignia. To get to the cave is a little bit tricky. First, you'll want to head to the lake facing Cliff's Grace, and then with great teamwork between you and Torrent, you'll want to carefully, I want to reiterate that, carefully make your way down the cliffs. One wrong move and you'll be collecting your runes at the top again. Once you're able to make it down to the bottom, you'll need to maneuver through the jellyfish until you find the cave entrance. Do what you do in caves in this game and explore and try not to die, and eventually you'll find this room with the sage outfit. Explore some more and you'll find the boss, the Clean Rot Knight, awaiting you. Just be careful with this boss because the poison buildup that can accrue while you're moving about can be the biggest challenge in this fight. Once you are victorious, you'll be rewarded with the Winged Sword Insignia, which raises attack power with successive attacks. Dexterity Knot Crystal Tear. Crystal Tears can be mixed in the flask of Wondrous Physic that will help enhance your character here in Elden Ring. This specific Crystal Tear, the Dexterity Knot Crystal Tear, can be found very close by the Poil Bronze Shack on the southwest side. There are a few goofy looking enemies you'll have to clear out, but once you've done that, this crystal tier will be waiting for you, and when you use it, you'll get a temporary dexterity boost in your mixed physic. The Cliff Bottom Catacombs. To find the Cliff Bottom Catacombs, you'll want to start at the Grace at Liurnia Highway South and head north from there. It can be a bit tricky, so make sure that you're paying attention to which way we are going. You'll also, in advance, need a stone sword key to fully explore here, so if you don't have one, make sure to go get one. Once you find the double doors that lead to the catacombs, similar to the caves, you'll want to explore around. Behind the stone sword key is the Nox Mirror Helm. Just be careful of these little gargoyles because they are very annoying and they sneak up on you. Just whatever you do, don't let that distract you from how bright and absolutely shiny this helmet is. Next, you'll find a hallway with a rather large, angry enemy guarding the next item you'll want to get, which is the Page Ashes. Once you're able to defeat this large, angry enemy, you will get the Page Ashes, which, if you don't know, these are a summon that can definitely help you in battle. The final item you'll get in the Cliff Bottom Catacombs is the Caden Cell Sword Ashes, which is another summon. You'll get these after defeating the Erdtree Burial Watchdog boss. This boss is rather routine, but just like any enemy in this game, you can't underestimate it. So take the time, learn the moves, figure out when to attack, all that good Elden Ring stuff, and before you know it, you'll have this final item. Two Fingers Heirloom. Talismans in Elden Ring can be a fantastic addition to your arsenal. It'll make your character stronger and more powerful than they already are, and can help break the barrier between you wielding certain weapons. The Two Finger Heirloom is a talisman here in Elden Ring. This particular talisman raises your faith by 5, which, like we previously mentioned, depending on what build or weapons you're running, could be very important. To get this heirloom, you'll want to head to the Purified Ruins. It will have some enemies, so beware. We found it easy to just sneak our way inside until we found the wood floor that you'll need to break through. Make your way down the staircase, open the door, and voila! In the chest will be the Two Fingers Heirloom. The Night Cavalry. You've more than likely come across this area many times while exploring the lands between. But if you haven't come across it at nighttime, then you never know that there is actually a boss fight here. This boss can be tricky, but since we've got the glorious power of magic on our side, it was honestly pretty light work. You'll get the Ash of War Ice Spear for defeating the Knight's Cavalry, a nifty little move that looks awesome and is also effective, having a cool little wind-up animation before impaling your enemies with an ice blade, which is not too bad for something that we probably would have missed. The Glintstone Craftsman Cookbook and the Carian Glint Blade Staff. Head to the Highway Lookout Tower. Make your way through these enemies, yes, it's okay to just run through them, and head up the first ladder. Inside the first chest will be the Glintstone Craftsman Cookbook, which will give you the ability to craft an albinaric pot. Then head up the next ladder, knock this goofy looking double Burger King face having guy off the tower, asserting your dominance, and then retrieve the Carian Glint Blade Staff from the body. Yes, it truly is that simple.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
The Deathrite Bird. Head south of the Grace at Gate Town North. Here you'll find a sunken village. You'll also find another surprise in the form of the Death Bird's cousin, the Deathrite Bird, who isn't very happy with how easily you defeated his family. This fight has an amazing aesthetic with the white flames that cut through the fog of the land, but don't let this distract you though, because this boss, like most bosses in this game, will be difficult if you underestimate it. Take your time, learn its moves, and figure out the perfect times to attack. If you need to, use your summons, and if you have the ability to keep your distance in this fight, it will make it much easier for you. Once defeated, you'll get the Ancient Death Rancor spell, which, by the way, looks as awesome as it sounds and also deals great damage. It completely engulfs your enemies and stops them in their tracks. And if there's anything that we've learned so far in this video, it's that magic is unbelievably powerful in this game. The Ash of War Shield Bash. Head to the East Gate Bridge Trestle. You want to look for scarabs on the ground that are glowing white. These should be fairly simple to spot considering it's very foggy here, so the white really stands out. Once you see the scarab, you'll want to destroy it, then immediately look for the second one. Once you find the second one, destroy it as quickly as possible. Once you do, you'll get the Ash of War Shield Bash as a reward. This move can be wonky at first, but once you figure out the distance and the timing, excuse the joke I'm about to make, but you'll be slapping fools with your shield like you're, well, you know, Will Smith. Smithing Stone, Miner's Bell Bearing, and the Crystal Knife. For this, you'll want to head to this point on the map. It should be right across from a walking mausoleum. You'll want to find an entrance that leads to an elevator. This elevator takes you down into the Raya Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. Explore inside the tunnel, do what you do in Elden Ring and take out some bad guys, and you'll find this chest that contains the Crystal Knife. It's got an awesome animation that really makes it stand out. Explore some more and you'll stumble upon the Crystallian boss fight. This boss has a very unique moveset that does serious damage, so once again, make sure you take the time to learn her moves. If you need to, once again, call in your summons to keep her distracted while you deal damage and stay persistent. Once defeated, you'll receive the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing, which you can then take to the Twin Maidens in the Round Table Hold. This will give you the ability to buy the level 2 smithing stones from them, which can be incredibly useful if you don't want to go exploring for them.